Hello, UCAR. Peter Christensen here, coming to you from the CEO's desk. Going to talk about the REPSI today. Back to basics. Going to talk about section 1.2. This is the included items. So you have the check boxes, refrigerators, that kind of stuff. Then you have a blank. But then there's an additional line that says whether there is or is not another agreement for personal property. So what do we do with this? I guess it's are or are not. There are or are not additional items of personal property being transferred. What's the difference between the blank line, the other, and the are or are not? So let's say you had an item, the barbecue, the hot tub, whatever, and you feel like this is just a simple thing. We're just going to throw that in. You can use the other line, no problem. But where it gets maybe a little more complicated, maybe you have dining room set or all furnishings in the living room, whatever the case may be. That may be a little bit, you could try to write something like that in the other line. I would not recommend it, however. I'd probably do there are box. Check that, say, there are other items. And then I would use the UAR's personal property transfer agreement form. And there you even have an inventory list you can fill out. There's a couple reasons why I'd suggest this. Number one is it's a little cleaner. It's a lot to try to add a bunch of furniture, a bunch of personal property items to that other line in the REPSI. And number two reason is I would want to clarify. I'd want to make sure both parties are on the same page. Because if you say dining room set as the seller, maybe you're meaning the chairs, and the table. And that's it. And if you're the buyer, maybe you think the hutch is coming, the dining room cabinet, whatever. You might not see eye to eye on what is the dining room set. Same thing, bedroom. Fully furnished. A buyer may expect everything they see in there, even your personal items hanging on the wall, sitting on shelves. You just want to clarify. And so using that personal property transfer agreement can be very helpful. The other highlight to that one is that it allows the parties to go back and forth. So if the buyer thinks something's going to be in there and the seller doesn't list it, they have a chance to kind of go back and forth and clarify and put it into the agreement so that going into settlement, they are clear on what is there and what's expected to be there. This is also, it's a separate agreement, so it's not an addendum to the REPSI. So what we're doing is we're notifying if there is an underwriter. We're clarifying to the buyer and seller, yes, there's personal property that's going to come along with this transaction. But we're also notifying an underwriter who may look at this and say, wait, I want to see what that is. Great. They can request that personal property transfer agreement. The parties agree in that agreement to provide it to the lender, to the underwriter, if they are requested to. So it's not real property. It's personal property. So it's being transferred separately with that agreement. So yeah, it's a good tool to use. Be aware that it's there. So if you have that complex agreement that has a little more to it, a little more on the personal property side that's going along with the real property, it's there to use. And it's built just to handle these situations. So go check that out. Remember, this is not legal advice, just legal information only. If you need specific legal advice, contact your attorney. Thanks for tuning in. Leave us a comment if you got a cool subject you want us to cover. And check out our other videos if these are helpful. Thanks.